I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Hey mamas, how are you? I am doing great. As you may remember, I'm pre-recording all of these episodes for the month of July in preparation for a trip that we're taking. We're spending the month of July out of town. We're going to be in Florida, which seemed like a really great idea when we planned it. And then as it got closer, coronavirus really exploded again. So our trip is going to be a little different than we originally planned, but still going to be amazing. We're going to be spending a while at my mom's house. So we're going to be in the house, in the pool, probably not going out and about in the world. We're probably going to be quarantining at her house and pool, but what better place to be stuck, right? It will not feel stuck at all. And then after that, we're headed down to 2 different Airbnbs that we have rented to test out living in a new city and seeing how we like it. I think maybe most of you have heard that I have dreams to move to Florida. So we are going to test it out and see what we think. One of the houses that we rented is on the beach. One of the houses that we have rented is in the neighborhood we think we might like to live in. So even if we are still in quarantine mode when we are there and when you're hearing this, I think we're going to be feeling pretty great. Everywhere has a pool. We can get great takeout, and we're taking our masks with us. So we are going to be safe. All right, let's get into today's episode. My clients and I are ambitious women. We have huge dreams, goals, and visions for ourselves and our businesses. We dream of massive impact in the world and in our families. I talk to women all the time who haven't made money yet, and yet they have goals like 10K months, 300K years, and $1 million businesses. I actually love this because I think it's really good to know where you're going and dream big. But goals like these can be really harmful to your business too. Sometimes our so-called impossible goals can make themselves impossible because we are so focused on the finish line that everything else feels like a failure. I was talking to one of these clients a few weeks ago in Mama to CEO. Her goal was $350,000 and her business was brand new. She hadn't signed any clients yet. So we were coaching and she was feeling really discouraged. She reached out and she let me know that she was kind of having a pity party and she had this goal, and the more she thought about it, the more it felt impossible. And she was really hoping that I had a good direction to point her in. And as we were chatting, I started to have this hunch that her 350K goal was actually stopping her from signing clients right now. So I asked her this: what if you actually made 35K this year? 10% of the goal. So she thought about it and she said that she'd be happy, but that it's more than she made in her last job. So she was really happy about that. And she actually was also happy that she'd be able to pay off all of her business investments and still have money left over. But her nagging thought was that it wasn't the goal she wanted and she'd feel like a failure. So her brain was telling her that anything less than $350,000 this year is a failure. And yet, businesses don't just go from $0, right, to $350K in one day. Her attachment to the bigger goal was actually stopping her from creating all of the small wins along the way that add up to the big goal. It's almost like she was looking at a staircase and she saw the top, and because she was so focused on the top, she couldn't even take the first step to go up the staircase. She was trying to just leap all the way up to the top, and it didn't work. I see this happen with so many of my clients, and sometimes I even have the temptation to think in this all or nothing way when it comes to my own goals. When anything less than the end goal is a failure, you're prevented from moving towards the end goal. When you have a big goal, you have to understand all the steps to get there and celebrate and acknowledge every single one of them. The best way to do this is to remember this one thing. All businesses are built one client at a time. It doesn't matter how much money you make. This is always true. My business is being built one client at a time. It was one client at a time all the way to where I am, and it continues to be. Your business is being built one client at a time. And McDonald's, with its billions and billions served, so much that they ran out of space on the sign to keep counting, is being built one client at a time. Focusing on one client at a time allows you to avoid the kind of big picture idealism that I talked about already in this episode, but it also lets you avoid one of the major stumbling blocks that many entrepreneurs face: overwhelm. Most of my clients, when faced with a large goal, whether it's $2,000 a month or $20,000 a month, feel overwhelmed thinking about how to make that happen. The overwhelm causes them to shut down and actually take less action in their business and ultimately not reach their goal. Focusing on one client at a time helps them to take progress towards the goal without overwhelm. It allows them to really approach their goal one small step at a time. Every client matters. Every client is a giant step towards your big goal. And every client is a cause for big celebration and gratitude. So as you're working towards your goal this month, focus on achieving it one client at a time. When you create your content, deliver value, go live, network, and all the other ways that you build your business, focus on one person who's ready now. Don't try to go talk to hundreds at a time. Talk to one. As you proceed towards a goal, focus on the one client you will sign. Sign that client and then focus on the next one client. I remember one month that I signed 7 one-on-one clients. All the way through that month, I focused on one client at a time. And focusing on one didn't mean I only created one. It meant I created 7, but I did it one at a time. And the client from earlier in this episode, she signed a client within a week of us coaching on this issue, her first client. And I know that there's many more to come now that she's focused on one client at a time. Okay, mama, head out there and chase your goals, one client at a time. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, MAMATOCEO.com.